Check out the new Lexus LX600. Do you like it or not? The old Lexus LX, which was introduced in 2008, has already been improved several times until 2022. The new LX600 is not an improvement, but a complete redesign. It is clear that the Japanese did a good job, and overall the car has become much more harmonious compared to its predecessor. It's aggressive and looks interesting, especially from the front. The radiator grille is huge. Look at the huge stamp on the hood. When you're driving, the first thing you pay attention to is it. The aerodynamic drag coefficient of the new LX600 is 0.4. It must be said right away that this is bad, and most likely the Japanese engineers did not have the opportunity to maintain such an excellent appearance with a lower coefficient. The LX600 is built on a completely new platform, as is the Land Cruiser 300. The wheelbase remains unchanged. The Japanese design all their third-generation LXs with the same wheelbase, because it is this that allows you to get a comfortable car on the one hand, and a full-fledged SUV on the other.
Don't forget to subscribe and like.
At first glance, the unique square wheel arches immediately catch your eye. The back is also square. It seems that compared to the front, the rear is very massive. The exhaust pipes are located under the rear bumper. The trunk is large and roomy. The rear trunk door is one hole, and not double as in previous LX models. This car does not have a third row of seats, since this is a VIP package, but many trim levels have them and can be placed in the trunk floor using a button. A 220-volt household outlet is installed in the trunk. Mechanical curtain. On the outside of the rear door, Lexus is written in large font. Past LX models had an L logo in this location. With the arrival of the new LX600, the biggest step forward in the Lexus LX lineup is the transition to the new remote touch multimedia interface. Before this, Lexus used a mouse and touchpad. Nowadays, a touchscreen is used to control multimedia in the cabin. It is very responsive and simple. The multimedia system is excellent and easy to understand, but it has a small flaw. The display is quite large and wide, but there is no ability to display several different functions simultaneously. That is, if you are using a navigation map, but suddenly want to turn on music, then you will have to go to the audio tab, and the map will simply disappear from the screen. Another advantage of the new LX, in addition to a good multimedia system, is a separate set of buttons and screen for climate control. There is no need to use the multimedia touchscreen to change climate control settings. All controls for setting the temperature in the cabin are located here. In addition, there is this button here that says Climate Concierge. If you turn on this mode, the temperature in the car will be monitored electronically. Automation will manage all aspects of climate control to make you as comfortable as possible. You've probably already noticed that there is a second screen above the climate control controls. It's smaller than the one mounted a little higher on the center console, and it has a few different functions. One of them is climate control. Now you see the climate control tab. Here you can configure all the same functions as with the buttons below. Off-road performance can also be controlled using this screen. For example, you can see what the current ride height is set, that is, the ground clearance value, and many other things. By the way, on the new LX600, the ride height is controlled hydraulically using two buttons in the cabin, which are located next to the transmission selector on the center console. The center differential lock button is also located here. Off-road functions can be activated by pressing the MTC button. You can choose the road surface on which the car drives. You can enable Crow Control, which is a kind of off-road cruise control. Even though the LX600 is loaded with new technology, the transmission selector remains the same as in older models. Not only is the handle huge, but there is a button on it that must be pressed to switch to drive or reverse gear. The dashboard also doesn't match the price of this car. This panel is a color screen, but much lower quality than the central touchscreen. Most of the LX600's competitors have a full-fledged screen installed in this place, with all the instruments built into it. The new LX even has analog gauges on the sides of the instrument screen. Another big negative about the LX600 is its poor 360 degrees camera. A 3D overview will appear on the central screen. The camera rotates on its own. I would like to note that in other cars you can choose exactly where you need to turn and look, but here it moves in a circle by itself. You only can stop the rotation. It is worth noting that, unlike 3D, the rear-view camera is very good, and when switching to reverse you can see everything that is behind the car. A rear-view mirror is mounted a little higher on the glass. Now this is an ordinary mirror, like in many cars. But if you switch it, the image from the rear-view camera will appear on it. In this area, there is a large knob that says Mode Select. By twisting it you can choose one of several driving modes: Eco, Comfort, Normal, and 2 more sports modes, Sport and Sport S+. The center console is equipped with a refrigerator. Most likely it's a cooler, not a refrigerator. It will simply keep food and drinks cool. Another nice feature is that the lid opens on both sides, both on the passenger side and on the driver's side. If you want luxury, then look no further than the LX600 with VIP trim. The back row of this premium SUV features 2 individual reclining seats, much like those found in a luxury first-class airline showroom, with a variety of luxury amenities. The screens installed on the backs of the front seats are touch screens. They are quite large and can be used to control media, listen to music, and watch movies. There are even HDMI connectors, which are located in the compartment below. You can connect a game console or a DVD player there, whatever you want. Between the rear seats, you can turn on rear seat massage, control climate control, and many other features that apply to second-row passengers with another small screen. If you are sitting behind the driver, the settings for your seat will be limited so as not to create problems for the driver. But if you're sitting behind the front passenger seat, you can slide the passenger seat in front of your back to give you as much room in the back as possible. Having done this, you can recline the chair, bringing it to an almost completely horizontal position. There's also a wireless charging pad in the back row, although there isn't one up front. The front cooler is also available for rear passengers to use while sitting in their seats. The rear doors and third-row windows are equipped with sunshades. Although they are mechanical, they are very comfortable. In other trim levels, the LX600 comes standard in a 5-seat configuration. All these cars are equipped with 3 rows of seats with additional seats. Under the hood of the new LX600, a twin-turbo V6 replaces the old V8. According to Toyota, this is a 3.5-liter V6. Despite its size, the engine produces 415 horsepower and 650 Newton-meters of torque. This engine is 200 kilograms lighter than the old one. It has 25 horsepower and 100 Newton-meters more than the old V8. In terms of fuel consumption, the old one was 16.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the combined cycle. This engine has a consumption of only 12 liters. The new Lexus V6 can tow 3,630 kilograms. With the old V8, the SUV accelerated to hundreds in 9 seconds. Now this figure is 6.9 seconds. The twin-turbo V6 engine is paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Buyers are offered 5 trim levels to choose from. The Lexus LX600 Executive is considered the base model. The second is called Premium. Next is the Luxury Package. The fourth configuration is VIP, which we reviewed in this video. VIP is the most expensive configuration, the cost of which starts at $130,000. The latest trim level is called F Sport. In this configuration, the car looks a little different. The front grille is black, but in this sporty trim, you don't get better brakes or a more powerful engine. Once again, I would like to remind you that people buy Lexus not for design, but for reliability and durability.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Your rating is very important to us.